Geminis, welcome back. This is my third time trying to do your reading. The first time was too chaotic. The energy was too much. I could not speak. The second time, my daughter came in and I literally had to tell her a problem I was having. And then she came and did something she had to do, and then she left, so I stopped. And then this is my third time, okay? I had already pulled out this card and we were going over it. In the first reading, it felt like there was a lot of stuff pulling at my energy, right? But it was like, it felt like I had ADHD. I don't have ADHD, but it felt like I did. See, even right now, I'm getting back into the energy, and I am not enjoying this energy. It feels like I can't focus. It feels like I can't function. I'm not enjoying this whatsoever. And I actually broke a tooth right here on this side. And when you first break a tooth, it's like really fucking like, it's like glass. So it was bothering me to talk. So I fixed that problem. And I'm still severely uncomfortable. So it's almost like there's a lot of things in the 3D, maybe in your body, that are going on, that's pulling you to the discomfort, that's disconnecting you from like different dimensions, right? So you guys got consciousness, which is 8, and then you guys, so it says the frequency of consciousness supports our ability to focus our attention on all the multidimensional aspects that show up so that we can include them in our reality. Okay, so I feel like there are other like 5D, other, you know, dimensions that are needing your attention, and I feel like maybe the universe is also trying to tell you, like, listen, we're trying to help you out here. We're trying to get you the patience, the respite you need, whatever it is that you need. Even when I was recording, I delete all my old videos before I record new ones, and I even go through like the trash and I remove them from the memory. And so I can usually do up to like 7 readings. As I was recording the first one, it said, or the second one, it said memory low, blah blah blah, and I was like, what? No, it's not. Like, what the hell? I only use this phone that's like, I don't know, 10 years old, 15 years old, 20 years old to record. Okay, my personal phones I don't use to record, right? And so it's almost like there's a lot going on in the 3D, and it's ungrounding you, but grounding you, right? Like ungrounding you to the point where, remember, when you want to ground, it's because you're the littlest wind won't pull you off. But then you're also ungrounded to the point where you're not connecting to the 5D, so you're not getting that respite. I know that Jerry Seinfeld, he's gone on several interviews, and he said to everybody, like, oh, would you do like a Seinfeld reboot? And basically, long story short, he was like, if I had found meditation, he didn't say spirituality, he said meditation. If I had found meditation while I was doing Seinfeld, I would still be doing Seinfeld, right? It was almost like he hadn't found his way to ground himself and to calm that energy, and it became too much for him. So that's why, you know, he ended the show. I feel like for you guys are having a lot of 3D stuff, and it feels so grounded and heavy. And remember, when you meditate, God is speaking to you, and they're also like, you're doing a clearing of your mind, you're doing a clearing of the soul, you're doing a clearing of the energy. And I feel like you guys haven't tapped in a while, so you're feeling very heavy right now. It's almost like, it's not almost like, it literally is like your guys's your spiritual hygiene. You're not keeping up with your spiritual hygiene, okay? So there's a lot going on, and with just a simple meditation, with a saging of the house, and maybe using the crystals that you guys know work, they're literally, they've been proven to work. You guys can help yourselves, right? You guys have the tools, and I just saw 444, but whenever you guys we're overwhelmed with shit, we forget that we literally have all the tools. Do you know how many times I have to tell my kids, hey, take medicine? Oh, this hurts. take medicine. All right. Communication. The frequency of communication supports our ability to exchange information in many different forms. It reminds us to run every piece of information, both incoming and outgoing, through our heart, the center of our truth, to stay in the flow of source and balance exchanged. That's exactly the same thing that I was talking about. And this is like 14 and 5. There could be things that you guys could, one, maybe ask for help. Two, expressing the way that you feel. Like I said, I was having an issue with my tooth, like cutting my tongue. And I told my daughter, and I was like, oh my God, this is really bothering me. And then I was like, okay, I'm good now. And I figured out the issue, right? Like even my neck and my whole body is really tight. I feel like maybe expressing how you're feeling could help, right? I'm not saying like go trauma dump with someone, right? But maybe like if you have a friend, if you have a family member that you talk to, anybody that you talk to, right? I even found this app once where you can actually go and answer people's letters. You can either write some or answer them. And it's really cool. People will write letters like, I had a really bad day today, blah, 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 whatever. And then you can respond to them and say, you know, give your own advice, and vice versa. You could be like, listen, today was not the day, right? Even things like that. Like people from all around the world were signed up, and you would just get a joke or whatever it is that you asked for. So there's things like that that you can do. I know a lot of times I talk to my cat and he talks back, especially if I'm like yelling because the girls are not listening. He'll get up and come towards me. He does not like it when I yell. There's also, if you have people around you that you can, right, help you. I can't think right now of the word that I use literally almost every other day, but and this has been happening a lot to me lately, so I don't know if, again, this is your guys' energy, because I haven't read in like 2 days, so it'd be like outsourcing, but like not for a business. It'd be outsourcing, but for like a human being, like a human being, like delegate. Like if you have kids, you know, have them help up the slack, help them help you with the slack, right? I know it sucks saying this, but if you guys are like running late, maybe waking up 5 minutes earlier, making sure that you take your time to do your spiritual baths. And I don't mean literally, I mean again, like tapping on spiritual hygiene. When your spiritual hygiene is dirty, it's heavy. You're not releasing that energy, and it starts to build up, and you start to feel very, very heavy, right? So communication is key. All right, let's start going deeper. All right, here they are. Yeah, I actually feel better now. A lot of that was your energy. Some of it is mine too, though, because although I do feel a lot better now. Like even my energy feels better. Your guys' energy feels very like you know when you drink too much coffee and it makes you sick? Like it doesn't even give you energy. You just feel like shit, and you have all this anxiety. Like that's what that felt like. And now I feel a lot calmer, right? With the King of Cups, and he's meditating, right? And this doesn't mean you're a he or she. It's the energy. It's whatever energy it's in. The King of Cups has their emotions, right? But when they meditate, they're able to harmonize with their emotions. They're able to control their emotions, and they're able to control the seas of emotions, right? Yes, there's a lot going on, but sometimes none of that shit really matters. Like, oh, they're 5 minutes late to school. Who the fuck cares in the big scheme of shit, right? Or, oh, I'm late to work. Yes, you might get yelled at, but again, like, in the big scheme of things, you made it to work safe, right? It's that kind of thing. Like, it's the little things that you're like letting things to build up, and it's because you're not giving yourself like that spiritual bath. You need to purge all those emotions and make sure you have spiritual hygiene, a good spiritual hygiene. If you don't, this is where, you know, you crash out, or you start yelling at people and you're in a bad mood and you don't know why. It's because you're not keeping up with your spiritual hygiene. Take a walk at night, right? Allow yourself to release all that shit. Dance in your bedroom if you have to, right? But this is having to connect to like water. This is you needing to connect to water, right? And allowing your consciousness to receive the codes. Not only the codes, because remember, when you pray, you're speaking to God. When you meditate, God speaks to you. So you're receiving downloads for the day. And it's also like telling you, okay, and even if you can't hear him, some of you guys can. It's like saying, okay, this is what's going to happen. This is what we're going to do. Like, you actually go over your agenda with your higher self, whether you believe it or not, whether you hear it or not. And that allows your spirit to be like, okay, we're cool. Things are going to happen, but we're going to be calm through it. Because it's not a big deal, right? It's not a huge deal. So, it's that sense of, it doesn't matter what in the day, the first thing you need to be doing is meditating or praying or just taking time in silence. Like, you don't have to name it anything, just literally taking that time in the day, because that is the most important part of the day. Not the kids going to, none of that. It's you putting those minutes for yourself, where you're taking care of yourself and getting that peace and those downloads, right? And calming those waters for the morning, so that anything that happens, it doesn't matter. You can take on the day and you understand that everything's gonna be fine, right? Clarifying communication. Ooh, the Five of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, feeling like you don't have enough. Maybe you don't have enough time. Maybe you were sick. Remember I told you I was in a lot of pain, and right now I feel fucking great. Like, as soon as I got through that little part, even my tooth is like, well, I fixed the problem, but now, like, my body's chill. I'm not hurting. I could barely move. Maybe some of you guys were sick, and so a lot of things got behind. You know what? If you have kids, everybody's like, no, don't make, no, you are not only, everybody has to help in the house. And I've had this disagreement with a friend of mine who's like, they're boys. I don't give a shit if they're camels. If you're in my house, you're going to help clean. And that's coming from a Hispanic household, because my family saw me as a woman, so I wasn't allowed to go out. I wasn't allowed to have friends. I wasn't allowed to talk on the phone. Date, that's hilarious, okay? And I was always the one cleaning, but my brothers also had their chores that they had to do throughout the day, right? So it was me always, but they had their own, they could go and do their chores. Like, let's say my oldest brother, he had to do the living room and vacuum the house. And then he could do whatever the hell he wanted, right? It wasn't like that with me. But my brothers, and I had 4 brothers, right? They all had chores, except for the younger one. By the time that one came along, yeah. Anyway, and they're like, no, it's boys. It's innately in there. And I'm like, no, that shit is taught. That shit is absolutely taught. I'm sorry. But no, I know if I had boys, they would be helping too. They would be washing dishes. They would be learning how to do their own clothes at the age of like 10, 11. Hey, go throw a load in the washer. Go put it to dry. You're going to be able to, not only are you teaching them to live on their own, because we don't live in a society anymore where you're supposed to be getting married at like 15. So eventually they might go to college. They hopefully, you know, I wish every single person would live on their own before getting with someone, so that they understand the responsibility of, if you didn't have a girlfriend, who would wash your clothes? And if you got it like that, great. You're paying for maid service, right? You're paying for someone to come and pick up your clothes and wash them. But most people don't got it like that, and you're going to be washing your own clothes, cooking your own food. If you didn't have a girlfriend, so why do you expect, when you get in a relationship, for them to start taking care of you like they're your mom? They're not your mom. You should be able to do everything on your own. So we're teaching them at a young age how to be an independent, sovereign being. So I don't care if you're a girl or a boy or a mule, or I don't give a fuck what you are. Okay? You are going to learn, and I just saw 444, how to do everything that has to be done as a sovereign human being, and you're going to help me around the house. I don't care. Oh, women do that. No, everybody does this, right? Shit, teach your daughters how to mow the lawn. Teach your daughters how to change tires. Like, it's not a, it's not like that anymore. Like, seriously, how many girls have been in danger because their tires popped and they had no one, or they couldn't get anybody on the phone, and then they have strangers pull over for them, right? Teach them how to fight, how to, defend themselves, boys and girls at this point, right? But that's what I mean. Like, it's asking for help if you have babies, if you're sick. Like, I literally was going through my Red Sea, and this was a bad one, and I had to call my daughter, basically, like, put the pills in my mouth, the Midol, the ibuprofen, and just chug water. Like, it was bad, right? And my kids, I've raised them like, you're gonna help. This is your home as well as everybody else's, and everybody's gonna do their part here, right? Except for obviously the bills. That's all on the adults. But I do feel like some of you guys are coming out of, like, not feeling well. You guys it could have taken a toll on you guys, and it all kind of, like, just escalated, right? With the Queen of Cups here, some of you guys were, like, going through it. Like, even with what I just said, some of you guys could have been going through that. Some of you guys could have just been, like, really emotionally, there could have been a lot of turmoil because there was a lot going on. There was a lot that was being on your plate, and there was nobody to help you, or, like, people just weren't listening to you, or you had nobody I feel like you guys just weren't voicing that you needed help, right? And a lot of times when a lot of bad things, or a lot of things are happening, because technically things are neither good nor bad, they just are, right? But a lot of times when there's a lot on your plate, we want to become the martyr and be like, I have no help, I have to do this, I have to do that. Yet if you actually ask somebody, or whatever it is, right? Even if you ask the universe will send you help. You have no idea how many times I've seen that shit. Like, I'm just like, okay, so to give you an example, we have a huge yard, and we all hate cutting the grass. Well, there's a neighbor that moved in, and he was like, well, I'll cut your grass. Do you have a lawnmower that works? Because the one that I'm using is borrowed, and it's not very good, and blah 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 blah. Long story short, we lent him our lawnmower, and he ended up cutting our grass, mowing our lawn. And our lawn is huge. There's so much to cut, and none of us want to do it. We're just like, oh, it's a household of 3 girls. I'm telling my cat over there, like, bro, can you go cut the grass? Like, we don't want to do it. You know what I mean? So I wasn't even looking for someone to help me, and that just kind of popped up. And so that was a win-win situation for us, right? So that's kind of what I'm talking about. I feel like you guys are coming out of that I feel like you guys are starting to communicate, starting to, ask for help. What's that saying? Closed mouths don't get fed. If you guys don't ask for food, you guys are not going to get served. Hey, I'm hungry. I need help. Can someone help me? Can anybody help me? I've seen so many groups, like, in the different cities, like in Facebook, if you go, like, to the cities where you live. I'm also, like, joined in the cities where my friends live, and you see so many kind people that are like, hey, if you need help, I'll come help you. Like, there are still good people out there. So, like, if you need help with something, if you don't have a car, whatever it is, right? I was especially seeing people that were offering rides to go get food from the food banks, stuff like that. So there's always people that can help. You just have to express that you need help, right? And even with, like, therapy, whatever it is, help will, what is it that Dumbledore says? Help will come to those who deserve it and ask for it. Alright, let's get you guys some guidance, Geminis. I feel like I'm going to leave it here. I found Three's Company on Peacock, and I'm watching it. Oh my gosh. I'm loving life. Miracles. Look at that. Miracles. Miracles are coming in to help you with what you need. Miracles. but you had to like open your mouth and say, help. I need help. I need help. And communication. Like, you can't just sit there and be like, oh, everything happens to me and nobody helps. No, things are happening to everybody. To everybody. 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 There are people in situations that are better than yours. There are people that are in situations that are worse than yours. The point is, like, speak and say, I need help. Don't sit there and wallow in that victim mentality and be like, no, this is all happening to me. It's happening to everyone, especially right now. They're chaotic. If somebody offers you help, you take it. If you need help, you ask God, the universe, your ancestors, your neighbors, shit. Like, you never know. You never know, right? Church. I know the churches sometimes will help. I'm not going to get started on that. But I know churches will help. You just have to ask. And mind you, I would not feel forced to go to church. If they want to help, great. If you don't want to go to church, then just be like, no, I would not be forced to do anything you don't want to do. Okay? Geminis, I love you guys so much. I hope this helped. And I will see you guys soon. Bye.